morning. Good morning. You're listening to WOOM 92.9 South Philadelphia Community Radio, giving you another live edition of the 623 Lives Matter radio show. Good morning. It is good to see all of you on Facebook. To those that's listening in radio land, thank you for listening. Thank you again. What's up, AG? Happy birthday to you, brother. Hope you enjoy your day too, man. I see you on Facebook Live. We're going to get right into it. Of course, you guys know what's been going on at the at the Air Hub. A lot of, for some reason, harassment has always been a problem with UPS and our members. There is plenty of grievances filed over the years for harassment, plenty of violations, but it seems like the zero tolerance policy is one-sided. It's not for us, it's only for, it's not for the management, it's only for us. Some of you guys know that there was a supervisor that attacked one of our members out on the day ramp, and it was pretty bad. And then a few days prior to that incident, we had a supervisor who put their hands on an alternate shop steward and was allowed to stay in their building and work. Matter of fact, once the shift was almost over, he was allowed to go back down into the area where the altercation happened. And these are the things that were supposed to be addressed in our contract. The number one issue throughout this whole negotiating process was harassment. The number one issue everywhere we went, Georgia, Utah, Westchester, Willow Grove, North Carolina, where I'm from, when I went to visit my family. We did some flyering out there. And the number one issue everywhere we went was harassment. They wanted to be protected from the company. A lot of people don't understand that. Yeah, UPS is very profitable. They're number one in logistics. There's a lot of stuff that go on behind closed doors that the people on the outside just do not know about. And it was supposed to be addressed, and it wasn't addressed. And so now we are in a situation where there is no, what's going on, man? There is no penalties for what goes on. They can continue to do what they want to do. Me and Clarence here, we saw it firsthand. I remember I had an instance not long ago where a member was threatened right in front of me. And, I remember it verbatim. The SOOOO said that if you open up your mouth again, it's going to be a problem. I'll never forget it. So right when that was said, we went to the office. And what she wanted, I wanted the same thing that would have happened to her if she would have said it. And of course, oh man, we don't know what you're talking about, what nothing would have happened. Everybody knows what would have happened if you make that kind of statement to a supervisor. You get walked out. And there's no ifs and buts about it. But for some reason, when it comes to zero tolerance, it's only for, us and not for the management. And so what I did was we printed up some information to try to educate our members on to be better prepared to protect themselves from harassment, from any type of violence in the workplace. OSHA has a really good detailed articles and information about it. We'll post it up later on after the show. You can go to OSHA, because a lot of people don't know that it's actually an OSHA violation as well for any safety concerns that you may have. Not being able to work safely or fear of violence is an OSHA violation. So that's another avenue that we can use to protect ourselves when the contract doesn't. We had another situation me and Clarence witnessed where the supervisor was getting ready to attack another supervisor. And, Clarence was like, man, Hook, man, maybe we should do something about it. And I told him, no, we shouldn't, because we don't have the same protections that they had. We go and try to break it up, we end up getting fired. So, you got to be mindful of that. And he was still allowed to able to work. The sexual harassment in that building, that one of our members complained about it from a supervisor. They let him work. And then when they felt like, okay, well, we're going to, do something about it, all they did was move him to another facility in Oregon Avenue. I don't know if he's still working there, but they moved him. You know what I mean? So the issue of violence in the workplace and harassment, all these things, you guys, we got to Pay attention. We got to look out for one another. I got some information here I'm going to read off to you guys. Like I said, we'll put it on our web page, Facebook page after the show. I don't know if you guys know, but 2 million American workers, 2 million, are victim of workplace violence. You know what I mean? That's a lot of people. 2 million people are subject to workplace violence. And when you work in a hostile environment like we do at UPS, it's amazing that those numbers are not higher. I mean, we remember what happened in Alabama, and we remember what happened in San Francisco. And what we don't want another issue like that happening over here. You know what I mean? We don't want that to happen anywhere. We want to protect our members at all costs, because if you can't work safe and come to work without fear of being retaliated against or being attacked by a supervisor or anybody, then that's a problem. And UPS does not do a good job of training their supervisors on how to talk and how to interact with members. I think what it is they feel as though that they're better than the members, and they feel some type of, I don't know, that they have to try to impose their will on us because we're in a union. And I think that frightens them. They take the necessary precautions in doing this. And I want to read this thing to you that I found out on, it's called the Workplace Violence Program, Prevention Program. And I found some information about that when it talks about zero tolerance policies. And it talks about how management uses these policies to benefit themselves. They don't necessarily mean it for them. It's just all about, just dominating the members constantly. And when you don't have language in your contract that protects you from these types of situations, then it's going to benefit the company. And you see it every day at UPS. These guys do whatever they want to do. They just, and there's no repercussion, none at all. So I'm gonna let Clarence talk about it, because he got some information about it as well.
Good morning. The reason why the numbers that Rich was reading off are not higher, because think about how many workplace violence issues are not reported.
Right.
And that, just at UPS alone, I can tell you a few instances that I've witnessed and been involved in as a steward, who the management will just brush right over it. They try to cover it up. And it's only when we push the issue as hard as we could that they even attempt to even try to do anything. I mean, we had an issue with a supervisor put his hands on an alternate steward, and that supervisor worked the rest of the day.
Right.
Now, it is completely different when it's us. Like with the situation Rich was talking about, when the supervisor said, "Open your mouth, is going to be a problem," you can interpret that a whole lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But if it's an hourly, it's interpreted as one way, and that is you're being violent in the workplace. That's it. You say something like "open your mouth, is going to be a problem." To me, I mean,
that's a threat.
That's a threat. But when if it's an hourly, you're walked out immediately.
Right.
They don't even need a steward. In a situation where it's violence in the workplace, they don't even need a steward to walk you out. They can just walk you out, and then you can do a hearing later. You gotta call the hall, whatever the case may be. But when it's an hourly, when it's a supervisor, you gotta jump through hoops and bounds for them to do anything, and it ain't fair. And the main thing that the main issue we want to address was violence in the workplace and harassment.
Yeah.
No, you should never have to come to work and worry about a supervisor riding your back, yelling at you, and all types of stuff like that. They need to treat you the way they want to be treated. They'll be the first ones to tell you, if you see a package that you won't want at your house, don't send it out. Same thing goes for them. You talk to people the way you want people to talk to you. That's how you earn respect. That's good business.
Right.
But because we're a union, it's like from my own experience, it's the supervisors who are the most aggressive towards the employee are the ones who always get promoted.
Right.